Yeah, Metallica. Why not Metallica? And why not Zoidberg? There is a saying about how some men just want to watch the world burn. Well, that's me, alright. I want to burn, baby, burn. I want to watch my goblin army flourish. I want to live fast, but not die young. So essentially, I want to draw cards without necessarily having to pitch them. Now, I know there are some players out there who would say, too bad, you can't do it, that's not the red way. You need to rummage or loot. You can't just draw a card into that, I say. Why can't I just draw a card? Why can't I have it all? Tom Brady has it all, and I may not be able to afford his custom-made $200 goddamn magic jammies, but that doesn't mean that I want to discard a card whenever I draw one. I want to have that card. If discarding a card is so great, then why don't you do it? Sorry, carried away there. I'm Travis from Brain Pulp TV, and we have a new show today called TopX Topics. And today I'm going to go over my favorite top 5 red cards, the draw cards, in Magic the Gathering. So if you've been around the channel, you may have seen my deck tech for Boros Chumps or seen some of the mana caves we've done, and you may know that I like to play red. But I get frustrated when I run out of gas. And by frustrated, I mean I act like a little bitch. Anyway, that prompted me to seek out new cards and new strategies, to boldly go where better Magic players have very likely gone before. As you can imagine, my search ended with relatively few results for red cards that draw cards, and now I present to you my favorites. Before we begin, the rules are the card has to be mono red. Is not the answer I'm looking for, at least not for now, and I don't want to necessarily be forced to discard a card, and therein lies the rub. Okay, before we begin, an honorable mention to Abbot of Carroll Keep. Not necessarily card draw, but some nice card advantage. Just make sure that you have some mana to play whatever card you'll likely be revealing, and don't play a land if you can avoid it, because you may end up revealing a land and then having to throw it away. Isn't that right, Ed? You wanna play the land after the Abbot, just in case you flip a land, right? Oh, come on, that's not funny. The guy made the mistake once, I'm never going to let him live it down. Okay, number 5 is Browbeat. A fun little burn spell. Any opponent may, however, take 5 damage in order to avoid you drawing the 3 cards, which is a potentially big disadvantage. Even then, it is 5 damage for 3 mana, which ain't half bad. Now, better men than me have said, anytime you give your opponent a choice, it's putting things in their favor, and that's true, especially here. Because unless it's an instant win situation, I'd probably rather take the 3 cards. But you gotta remember, if that decision your opponent makes turns out very poorly for them, that might haunt them. Talk about mind games, you could really get in their head, possibly destroying their confidence for future matches. Win-win. This card is legal in Modern, Commander, and the usual blocks, etc., but not Standard or Pauper. Number 4 is Dangerous Wager. 2 cards for 2 mana, but you have to discard your hand. Now, I know I went to a spiel at the beginning about not wanting to pitch cards to draw them, but you can't get blood from a stone. And I used to be a phlebotomist, so trust me on that one. I was professional. Blood is also thicker than water, by the way. True. Anyhow, the discarding isn't a cost of the cast, so if you don't have any cards in hand, you don't have to pitch any. So if you're hellbent, you're in the clear. Again, we're in conditional territory for this card to be truly valuable, but this is red, and that's probably the best we're going to get. Because of the conditionality of this card, I might be hesitant to run more than 2 in a deck, but that's just me. Again, far from standard, but its common nature makes it definitely down with OPP. That's obviously Pauper playable. Sorry, I can't help myself with these bad jokes. I guess I'm just naughty by nature. Number 3 is, tough one to pronounce. Avarice Dragon? Avaricious Dragon? Let's call him Cousin Avi. Anyway, he too is a nice hellbent kind of card. A 4/4 flyer who will give you an extra card on each draw step. I mean, you gotta pitch your whole hand at the end of your turn, which makes him an is-it player's worst friend. But if your card's mana costs are low enough, you should be able to hopefully play them before this can be an issue. Even if you have some higher mana costed spells, his last ability would let you play them if they say had madness. Plus, he is a 4/4 dragon for only 4 mana, which ain't half bad either. Granted, he and his card draw are susceptible to removal, but that is the reality of the game of Magic the Gathering. He just rotated out of Standard, but that makes him Frontier playable, as well as Modern, Block, etc., but as a Mythic, he is far from Pauper range. Still though, amazingly budget at between $1 and $1.50. Number 2 is Bedlam Revealer, which totally sounds like a wicked metal band, right? Anyway, the mana cost may seem a little intimidating, but again, by the time you're wanting to draw some cards in the right kind of deck, he may cost as little as 4 mana. The right kind of deck like a Prowess deck, because he himself has Prowess. Again, you're going to want to make sure that he is the last card you have in hand when you play him to avoid that discard thing. Yeah, right now everyone's talking about the Saheeli combo, but what about the bromance between these two, huh? He's legal in almost everything right now but Pauper, and fairly budget at just over $2 a card. And now on to my number 1, Reforged the Soul. This one amazingly sounds like both a self-help seminar and yet still kind of like a metal band. Hashtag diversity. Anyway, it has the negative side effect of having your opponents draw 7 cards as well, but they'll have to discard their hands too, which means hopefully you'll have an empty hand and they'll have a hand full of plans and schemes that just went down the toilet. That Miracle cost might be pretty fun too. If you top deck this bad boy, you can play it and then still likely have mana left to place on the 7 cards you're going to draw. This one is modern, block, etc., kind of legal, and a very welcome card in many commander decks. Again, budget around $1 a card. So there we go, my favorite top 5 red spells that draw cards in Magic the Gathering. Did I miss any of your favorites? If so, feel free to leave them in the comments. They may not be as impressive as some of the blue spells that draw cards, but they still might be just what your deck needs to turn the tides when you're running low on fuel. Hey, speaking of fuel, did you know that Avril Lavigne actually covers Metallica's Fuel? She did as part of some kind of MTV Icon series way back in the day. It's on YouTube, you should check it out. It's, well, it happened. You can definitely say it happened. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button. Maybe even crush it. Crush that button. Or if you know of any other red players who may be looking for some card draw, maybe share this video with them. Otherwise, thanks for watching all of our Brain Pulp stuff, and we'll see you again.